All right, welcome to part 10 of batch 3 of our 45 RPM vinyl records picture sleeves. This will be the next to the last episode. The last episode will be mostly empty picture sleeves. But we've got Don McLean's American Pie here. And this is a 45 that I have just got tons of copies of. That's a little dirty there, so let's see if the other side is the exact same. So maybe it looks a little bit better. Maybe. Well, it doesn't have the stain, but really not much to see but hairy fingers anyways. Um, and I've got quite a few copies of this. I definitely got better looking copies than this one even. So I could probably swap it out sometime. But here's American Pie Part 1. And it was broken up with American Pie Part 2. And I have previously shown you in one of my previous videos a copy of this with both sides on one. So it's not broken up. But when it originally came out, this is the way it was done. It was done in two parts, broken up over two sides of the 45. And next up, I guess I missed this one in the Beatles video that I did the other day. And it's Ringo Starr's. It's all down to Goodnight Vienna with the backside of Ooh-wee. So he's got some kind of studded leather outfit on there with the stars all around, and the B side of the sleeve shows the exact same image, so nothing really different to see there. But it's got a really cool label. This is a different label, if I get it on there the right way so you can see it. But it's all down to Goodnight Vienna from the LP Goodnight Vienna by Ringo Starr. And I believe that's a shot of outer space, actually. It does still have the Apple logo here, but this is an interesting 45 label. It's something different, especially for a Beatles release. Ringo Starr. Usually you've got the big green apple. But next up, we've got old Mr. Partridge, David Cassidy. Could It Be Forever? Blind Hope. Now, I remember my sister, and if you're watching this, sis, here you go. Here's a shot of old David Cassidy for you on Bell Records. He was definitely a teen heartthrob of the time. The backside of this is the exact same, no difference. So, label, Could It Be Forever? And on the B side of that was a song called Blind Hope. So yeah, David Cassidy from the album Cherish. I think that was his big album. And yeah, he was definitely all over girls' walls and bedrooms when I was in junior high. So, Cat Stevens, Morning Has Broken. Didn't do a whole lot on this picture sleeve. It's just bold lettering, both sides. The other side says, Cat Stevens, I want to live in a wigwam. So, nothing really to see there. Kind of not much of a picture sleeve, really. But Morning Has Broken. Really big song for him. And I want to live in a wigwam, which I do not remember. But maybe you do. The vinyl looks clean. I could definitely throw it on and give it a listen. Now we're taking a big jump in time here with R.E.M. doing Stand in the Place Where I Know. Do, 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 do. Can't say I'm a big R.E.M. fan, but I actually do like that song. That's a pretty good song. And I have no idea who this individual here is. Maybe the lead singer, maybe not associated with the band. I have no idea who that guy is. But the label, again, is rather interesting. It doesn't even list the band. It just says Stand. So, but it's nice, colorful blur. You know, that's the kind of thing I like. I like colors, and yeah, that's kind of neat. So, different. And then the B side, you've got to read it around. It's got Memphis Train Blues, which sounds like a really cool song. And R.E.M. Stand Memphis Train Blues. So there you go. Pretty unique label. Kind of cool that they did that. Next one up is another REM, The One I Love. This one goes out to the one I love. So I don't know, maybe I would be a REM fan if I bought one of their albums, because I actually like both of these songs, but they're not a band that I, got into during the times. Backside looks like it's got a fire and then some lightning. Maybe that's what started the fire. I don't know what they're trying to say there, but different interesting imagery there for you. And here's the label, the old IRS agent. A side, The One I Love, and the B side being a song called Maps and Legends live version. So this says previously unreleased, so possibly this is an exclusive B-side. This is something that could also make this 45 special to a REM fan out there. And then I do have a second copy of it as well. It's got a price tag and a rip. Obvious reason why I didn't show it to you. And the other label looked perfectly good, and this one doesn't look any better or worse. The vinyl is not quite as clean, but almost, so no real reason to dwell on that one too long for much. But next up we've got Bobby McFerrin with Don't Worry, Be Happy, which is a good song. I mean, it's definitely putting the right theme out there. And the back side of that, pretty much the same imagery, but it does show a shot of the cover of the album that it came from. And, the B-side being Simple Pleasures. So, let's get a shot of the label. And we've got, it's an edited version. Don't Worry, Be Happy edit at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So, it's probably exclusive to this 45, and if you bought the album, it would be just a little bit different. So, which one you're hearing on the radio these days? Probably the album version. So this would be slightly different from this version that you may be familiar with if you hear it on the radio. B-side being that song Simple Pleasures, which isn't something I'm familiar with, but it's only running 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so not a whole lot there to be heard. Alright, next up we got KC and the Sunshine Band. Keep It Coming, Love, Baby I Love You. KC did some pretty good disco back in the days of disco. I liked a few of his songs. They were happy, upbeat kind of songs. So there again, I wasn't really into disco, and I resented it for killing off our rock station. We had a rock station, a country station, and a gospel station in the town that I grew up. And that was all you were getting unless you had a really, really good antenna. And when disco came out, it killed off our rock and roll station, and it went disco. So that was a big part of the reason why I didn't care for it. Here we got another insert, and that one's got those pokey, so you can see what I was talking about. Like the one that I popped out of Rod Stewart earlier. Those just really, really damaged the labels up bad. And you can see that it did damage it here. And that's why it got damaged, because somebody left that insert in there. But the B-side being Baby I Love You, and bumping the camera there. And the A-side being Keep It Coming, Love. And yes, before we go anywhere else, this sucker's got to come out of here. I don't want to damage the disc, though. These actually hold better than the other one you saw me pop out a while ago. These ones that don't have the real spiny pieces, see those spiny things? Yeah, they seem to grip a little bit better. So, like with DVD cases and so many other things, there are definitely different variations on those. Different companies made those. All right, the Tramps, Disco Inferno. So, yeah, we've got a couple of disco ones here. I don't know what the number 57 written on there is about, but the B-side here gives you some shots of the album covers for the albums they had put out. Apparently at this time, they had done 3 of them. So the Tramps are not a band that I got into at all. I do know the song Disco Inferno. To me, it's kind of more of a novelty song than anything serious. But there it is on the A-side for you. And There you go with a shot of the B-side. That's where the happy people go. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. We're going to the disco. Now, here's another disco one. Chic, Le Freak, and Save Your Fare. So, again, I do know this song. It's definitely straight up disco and not something I was really into. And to me, again, it's kind of a novelty record. It's kind of funny, and if you take it serious and you like it and you love it, well, that's great. But for me personally, no, not my thing. I can hear it in my head, but I can't really sing it to you, which is probably a good thing. But here's the A side of the label, and following that up with the B side, and you can see it's a little more red. Light's kind of a little bit off there, turning it a little on the orange side, at least in my viewfinder here. Alright, so next up, we've got another Chic one, Good Times and a Warm Summer Night, which is not songs by them that I'm familiar with. And the back side again is giving you some shots of the album covers and listing to the tracks off those albums, which is cool. And this has got a nice little silvery label. This is a different label. I like the label here. Good Times by Chic, and B-side being A Warm Summer Night. Alright, so very briefly here, we've got one last one. There's not much to see, but it's Diana Ross. And both sides have the same thing, except for some of the lettering there being maybe a little different. But, oh, that's just as dirty. He would have to get some cleaning. So, Dark Side of the World, and the other side being Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand. All right, come back for the final part. We'll see you then.